everybody. Then check that you can hear me. Can you hear me now? Yes, good. So, close that. We've got Tina and Helen and Rob.
Hi.
Oh, Lizzie.
John's camera, sorry.
That's all right. I'm going to mute. Oh, you're muted. Lizzie, Tamadilia, Rob, Helen, Tina, and Mandy was there somewhere. Okay, we're going to start in a comfortable seat. Maybe if you need it, have a blanket or something nearby for Shavasana so you don't get chilly. I'm just going to grab my phone for a second. Bear with me. So allow your seat to get very heavy and rooted down. Let the hips release. And lengthen up through the spine. The crown of the head lifts up. And start to feel into the breath. And notice when you inhale, there's this sense of kind of lifting up a little bit. And the exhale, a sense of grounding down and releasing. So just your normal breath, the natural rhythm. Feel the effect of the inhale and the exhale. Allowing the inhale to fill up the chest, the belly, the back. And then the exhale, exhaling completely. So keep your awareness on the breath. And start to gently lengthen each breath. So the inhale starts to get a little bit longer, fuller. And the exhale a bit longer and more active. But very gentle, just breathing in the way that feels comfortable for you. So focus on the inhale, allowing the breath to fill up and expand into the whole of the rib cage, the belly, the waist, the back, up into the shoulders. And then the exhale, the belly starts to pull in and you press the breath out. Continue with this conscious breathing, slightly deep breathing. Take around 5 more breaths. See if you can keep your focus on each inhale. Follow each exhale. When the mind has gone off somewhere, bring it back just 2 or 3 more rounds of breath like this. And when you're ready, let go of the breath. Come back to your natural breath. Bring the hands into prayer in front of the heart. And the opportunity to set an intention, whatever it is that you would like to manifest, what you want to get out of your practice. We'll take an inhale together. Send out your intentions with your exhale. Release the hands down. We'll come down onto our backs, hugging the knees in. Bring the knees in, bring your hands onto the knees. And we'll take some frog circles, swimming frogs. So press both knees away from you. Pull them out to the sides, round towards you, in and then away from you. So circling the knees in opposite directions. You feel this in the hips. We start to coordinate that movement with the breath. And the next time the knees circle round and come to touch, we'll switch directions. So pulling the knees towards you, pressing them out to the sides, then away from you. Knees touch at the top and then come back in. Continue to circle them in this direction. And the feet are not involved. The feet just dangle down. You're stirring the knees around with your hands. A couple more times. And then come back to center. Extend into a full body stretch. Reach the arms overhead, point your toes. Scrunch your shoulders up by your ears, arch up through the back. And we'll move into a banana stretch. So creep your heels over to the right, maybe off of the mat. Wriggle your shoulders across to the right. So heels, shoulders over to the right. Reach your hands over to the right. You might bring your right hand onto your wrist, give your left wrist a little pull. But keep the shoulders on the mat, keep your pelvis on the mat. And then breathe into this big side stretch through your left side. An option is to bring your left heel up onto the right ankle and see how that feels. Couple more breaths. Release out, come back through center, and then wriggle everything over to your left. So shift your heels over to the left, chest, shoulders over to the left, left hand around the right wrist like a bracelet. Maybe bring the right heel over the left ankle. The shoulders are heavy on the mat, the pelvis is on the mat, not rolling over to the left. Breathing here. Couple more breaths. Come back to center. And this time bring your right knee in towards the chest and interlace around the shin. Hug the knee in so there's compression through the hip. Just hold it here. Now from here, release out into a full body stretch. And then we'll switch sides. So the left knee draws in, interlace around the left shin. Give it a squeeze. On your next inhale, full body stretch. And we'll move with the breath. So the exhale, draw your right knee in, squeeze. Inhale to stretch. Exhale, left knee in, squeeze. Inhale, full body stretch. Exhale, right knee in. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, left knee in. Inhale to stretch. Hold it here. And now bend the knees, plant the feet onto the mat and bring your arms out to the sides, either a T shape or bend your elbows. And start to gently sway the knees from side to side. And feel that across the lower back. We're going to come into a twist over to the left. So let your knees roll to the left. The legs might be apart or together, whatever feels good for you this evening. Just a couple of breaths here. And bring the knees back through center. Let them roll over to your right. We'll come back to center, hug the knees in. And we're going to rock up to seated. Taking a cross-legged seat with the right shin in front. So if cross-legged isn't comfortable for you, you might have the legs or feet further apart. You might have one leg extended, whatever works. And bring the hands onto the knees. On your inhale, tip forward. Open the chest, lift the chin up like cow pose. So lean forwards. And then we're going to start to circle off to the right. So roll or move the rib cage over to the right. Start to hang back. Chin to chest like cat pose. Move over to the left. Come back forward. So you're opening up through the front of the body. And continue to move in these circles to the right, clockwise. And if it feels a little bit awkward or stiff, then just slow it down or make it a little bit slower. If it feels really good in any position, you might hold that stretch a bit longer. We go one more time in this direction. There's no rush. And then start to circle all the way up to sit, lifting up through the crown of the head. Use your inhale to reach the hands out to the sides, all the way up to ceiling. Press the palms at the top. On your exhale, we're going to twist to the right. Right hand behind, left hand lands somewhere on the right thigh. Inhale to sit tall. Exhale, turn the chest to the right, any amount. Feel the breath again. The inhale lifts you up a little bit. The exhale, you turn. Inhale to look forwards. Switch the cross of the legs. Left shin in front. Moving with the breath. Inhale to rock forwards. Open the chest. Exhale, round back, chin to chest, circling over to the other side, come forward. Continue these circles in this direction. No rush. Maybe the spine starts to feel a bit like a skipping rope, looping around. So one more time in this direction. We're going to circle all the way up to sit, lengthening up through the crown of the head. Use your inhale to reach the hands up. The exhale to turn to your left, twisting to your left, left hand behind, right hand on the left leg or knee. Inhale, you grow tall. Exhale, soften into the twist. Close the eyes and take a couple more breaths here. Relax the shoulders. Inhaling, look forwards. And then rock forward to all fours. From all fours, tuck the toes and push back to downward facing dog. Take a few moments to ease into the backs of the legs, see how this feels for you today. Any little adjustments that you need. Now come to stillness in your down dog. Spread the fingers out. Push the mat away. When you push away, the armpits kind of sink down. The sit bones lift up. You can keep a little bend in the knees. And the heels are heavy towards the mat, but maybe not touching down. Take a deep inhale through the nose. And a sigh out through the mouth. On your next inhale, come forwards into a plank. Really lengthen out. Open up through the collarbones, crown of the head to your heels long, and the hips lift a little bit, not saggy hips. Exhale, push back to downward facing dog. Press the mat away, lift the sit bones up. Inhale, come forwards into your plank. Exhale, push back, down dog. One more time. Inhale forwards and lengthen. Exhale, everybody drop the knees down. Modified plank. Make sure the hips are not sagging. The hips lift up. Cores engaged. Now spread the fingers out. Push the mat away. Get that lift up between the shoulder blades. And we're just going to bend the elbows to lower down onto our bellies. Take Sphinx pose. So your elbows are directly under your shoulders. They're not down by your ribs. Pin the elbows in like you're reading a book on the beach. And then press the tops of the feet down. Press your pubic bone down and lift the chest up. Drop the chin to the chest for a neck release. There shouldn't be any crunching into the lower back. Lengthen the lower back by pushing the pelvis down. Make the legs strong. On your next inhale, the head lifts up. You stay in this position, but bend the right knee so the right toes are pointing up towards the ceiling. And you're still pinning your elbows down. Press the forearms down. Gently lower the right leg down. Then the left knee bends. Toes are pointing up to the ceiling. Never collapsing down, always pressing down to lift up. Gently, the left leg lowers. Lower down, bring the forehead to tap on the mat. And we bring the fingers out to the sides like spiders. The fingers out to the sides, elbows up, fingers are off your mat. Inhale to peel the chest up. Lift your head up any amount, pressing into the fingertips. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift up and bend your right knee, toes point up to the ceiling. Exhale to lower. Second side, inhale, lift the chest, bend the left knee. Exhale to lower. Hands under the shoulders, push up to all fours. Take the knees to the edges of the mat, big toes to touch. Child's pose, seat to heels. Forehead is resting on anything, on your mat, on your arms or a prop. And send some deep breaths up and down the back. Start to walk your hands in and come up to sit. So sitting on your shins, if that's okay for you. If it's not, find an alternative seat. Use your inhale to cactus the arms. Squeeze the shoulder blades together, open the chest and look up. Exhale, bring the forearms to touch, elbows into the belly button, round in like cat pose. 2 more with the breath. Inhale, cactus the arms, open up. Exhale, round in. Inhale, open. Exhale, round. Your inhale sends the prayer up to the ceiling. Then release the hands down. Downward facing dog. Tuck the toes, lift the hips, push back. On your next exhale, look forwards and walk to the top of the mat. Inhale for a halfway lift. Hands on the shins. Let's hold it here. So you're pressing your hands just below your knees, sticking your bum out behind you, lengthening the crown of the head forwards, and the little squeeze of the shoulder blades to open the chest. And the neck is neutral. Good. And this is the halfway lift that we take every time we take a halfway lift. This is very good. Excellent. On your next exhale, fold forwards and release. Let the head go. And a bend in the knees is always nice. There's only so much stretching of the hamstrings that somebody needs to do. On your next inhale, rise up. Rise all the way up to stand. Reach up. Exhale, hands to heart. Stand tall, no fidgeting. Be still. Smooth out your breath. Come straight back to your breath. Remember your intention. Release the hands by the sides, Tadasana. We'll flow through Sun Salute A, moving with the breath, no rush. Inhale to reach up, look up. Exhale to fold forwards, keep the spine long. Halfway lift, inhale the same halfway lift. Exhale, hands down, step back to plank. Take an inhale in plank. Use your exhale to lower down. You can modify with the knees if you want. Inhale for your back bend, cobra or up dog if you're ready for it. Exhale, meet in downward facing dog. Take 5 breaths. Have that focused awareness on your breath. Let the heels be heavy down. Take one more breath. On an exhale, look forwards. Make your way to the top of the mat. Halfway lift, inhale. Fold forwards, exhale. Inhale, rise up, reach up. And we'll keep flowing, forward fold with the exhale. Halfway lift with your inhale. Exhale, step back to plank. And a whole inhale here. Press the mat away, be strong. The whole exhale to lower down. Inhale for cobra or up dog. Exhale, shift back to downward facing dog for 5 breaths. This is a resting pose, so make it passive, no unnecessary tension. On your next exhale, look forwards, step or hop to the top. Take your halfway lift, inhale, fold forwards, exhale. Inhale, rise up, reach up, flow through again, forward fold, exhale. Halfway lift, inhale. Back to plank, exhale. Inhale here. Exhale, lowering down. Inhaling cobra or up dog. Exhale, shift back to down dog. Take an inhale through the nose. Sigh out through the mouth. Close the eyes and check in. See how you're doing in the body, in the mind, in your breath. Use your next inhale to lift the right leg up. So the rest of down dog stays the same. The right leg floats up and back. Keep the arms straight and strong, not buckling at the elbows, still pressing the mat away. Now bend the right knee and open the hip. Point your knee up to the ceiling. Keep the shoulders square. Keep looking back towards your back foot. Inhale to extend the right leg. Exhale, bring the knee towards the nose, round forwards, and step the right foot through. Give the helping hand if you need to. Drop the back knee down. Low lunge. Back knee on the mat, and the right ankle is under the right knee. If it's not there, wriggle the foot forward, nudge it forward. We're going to hold it in this lunge, sinking the hips down, lengthening the spine, either hands on your mat, or if you have your blocks to hand, you can use your blocks or block. Use your next exhale to pull back to half splits, the hips directly above the back knee, not sinking down, above the back knee, and you flex the right foot. Turn the right toes up. If that's strong on the back of the leg, then bend the knee any amount, but the foot is flexed. We take an inhale here to lengthen. The exhale to fold in any degree, just looking for that opening through the back of the right leg. And you can stay here or fan the toes out to the right. You can hold it in that stretch or pulse left and right. See how that feels. Keep breathing. On your next inhale, rock forwards into the low lunge. So the hips shift forwards and down. We're going to add on the twist. So left hand under the left shoulder. The right hand reaches up to the ceiling. If the shoulders are tight, you can just rest that right hand on your hip. We are turning to the right. You can stay here or add in the quad stretch, the hip flexor stretch. By bending your back knee, the left heel comes in towards the bum. You can stay just like that, or maybe you can reach your right hand to the left foot. We're still turning to the right, still sinking the hips down, still opening the chest up. You might look up. 2 deep breaths. Now release the back foot if you've got that. Bring both hands down. Tuck the back toes and lift the back knee. We'll take a quarter turn to the left side of your mat and parallel the feet. Inhale for a halfway lift, hands under the shoulders. Exhale, bow in. Prasarita, a wide leg fold. Let the head hang. Hands can be on your mat or block. They might be on your legs. Any position you want to take. We'll take a couple of deep breaths here. Inhale for a halfway lift. Horse stance. Heels turn in, toes turn out. Bend the knees, sink the hips. Bring the hands into prayer and then sit up. So the shoulders are stacking over the hips. The ears pull back over your shoulders. You feel your footprints on the mat, toes nice and long. Very nice. Feel that the legs are strong. The pelvic floor and the core are engaged. And there's a little soft smile. And we're going to do our cactus arm flow. So the inhale, you open the chest, cactus, the arms look up. Exhale, forearms touch, elbows into the belly button, round in. 2 more times. Inhale, open. Exhale, round. 1 more. Inhale, keep the hips low. Exhale, round it in. The next inhale, open into star pose. Straighten the legs, straighten the arms, reach up. Interlace the fingers behind the back. Parallel the feet. Inhale to lift and lengthen. Exhale, hinge at the hips and fold in. Stick your bum out, bend the knees a little bit. Let the head go. Maybe you lift your knuckles up. Maybe the hands fall overhead. Or if the shoulders are reluctant, just rest the hands on your lower back or bring them down onto the mat. Good. Give the head a shake out. Couple more breaths. Let the head go. Now, release the hands down. Inhale your halfway lift. Walk the hands round to the top of the mat, pivot your feet, you're back in a lunge. And we're going to kick back to a 3-legged dog. Right leg up and back. So the right leg is really straight and strong. From here, we're all going to try and come forward into our plank with the right leg lifted, straight and strong. From here, we're going to lower down. So the option is to bring your left knee down as a modification. Use an exhale to bend the elbows and lower down onto your belly. Tops of the feet pressed down. forehead down. Inhale for cobra or up dog, any back bend. Exhale, shift back to down dog or child's pose for 5 breaths. So the key to that 3-leg plank, 3-leg lowering down, 3-point rather, is to have that lifted leg really strong and engaged. And then it makes it feel a bit lighter. Just a couple more breaths here. Meeting in down dog if you're not there already. Feel your hands on the mat, feel your right foot on the mat. Lift your left leg up, 3-legged dog. Feel that lightness through the left leg. Bend the left knee. Open the left hip. So the left hip stacks over the right and the left knee lifts up towards the ceiling. You're still pressing into the hands. Good. Can you lift that right knee up? Open the hip up. Back to 3-legged dog. Extend the left leg. Exhale, crunch that knee in towards your nose. Rock forwards. Good. Then step it through. Low lunge. Give it a helping hand if you need to. Drop the back knee down. Hands on the mat or grab your blocks. But we take a few breaths here. Now shift back to half splits. Flexing the left foot. Are your toes pointing up to the ceiling? Hope so, not pointing towards the top of the mat. Toes pointing up. Inhale, lengthen out the waist. Exhale, you start to fold in, really feeling into the back of the right leg and just go as far as you need to go. Left leg rather. Do you hold it here or you dial the toes out to the left? Hold it there or pulse back and forth. We're going to shift back into the low lunge. Setting up for the twist. So the lungy legs just stay in this position. The right hand comes under the right shoulder. The left hand reaches up or rest on the left hip. And inhale to puff up the chest. And exhale to turn from the waist to the left shoulder. You're holding it here or add in the quad stretch. Start to bend the right knee. Maybe bring the left hand to the right foot. Keep turning to your left. Just check in with your right shoulder. Tendency is just to dump the weight down onto that shoulder. So press into your right hand, lift up a little bit. Lift the chin up. Use your next exhale to look down. Release the hands down. Tuck the back toes. Pivot or quarter turn to the right side of your mat for prasarita. Inhale to lift and lengthen. Exhale to fold in. And the option is to walk your hands out behind you. So creep your hands out behind you so the crown of the head edges towards the mat a little bit more. Couple of breaths here. Inhale, take a halfway lift. Back into horse stance, heels in, toes out. Sink the hips down. Hands to prayer, shoulders over the hips. Good. So just check that you're not sticking your bum and belly out. Hug everything in. Oops. And we're going to take eagle arms. So inhale, reach the hands out to the side. Exhale, right arm under the left. Either grab a bear hug with hands on your shoulders or wrap your forearms. And we're going to take some circles. Inhale, lift the elbows up. Exhale, dial around to your right. Elbows come in towards the belly, then over to your left, all the way up. We'll do this 2 more times. Keep the hips nice and low. If it feels awkward, you just make your circles a little bit smaller. But we want to feel the movement through the spine. Come all the way back up, center. On your inhale, star pose, unravel, reach up, straighten the legs. Hands to heart. Then we obviously have to do that to the second side, so you're going to sit back down. A little bit distracted because my Christmas tree is now leaning 45 degrees. Anyway, eagle arms. Inhale out to the sides. Exhale, left arm under the right. Bear hug or wrap the forearms. Sit deep. On your next inhale, lifts the elbows up. Think cow pose. Exhale, circling off to your left. Elbows come in towards the belly as you lean in. Over to the right. All the way up. 2 more times. Keep the legs strong. That heat is good. They're working. They're not going to cave in. 1 more time. Come back to center. Maybe sit a bit deeper, a little smile. On your inhale, star pose. Exhale, hands to heart. Parallel the feet. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale, fold forward. Hands down, crown of the head towards the mat, sit bones tilting up. We've got a few breaths here. So if you have a tripod headstand, if you want to do that, you've got time. If you're in your fold and you want to find some movement, you could bend and straighten through the legs. Get a bit of a sway going. You can shake the head out. You might walk the hands over to one side and fold in. Go with whatever feels good for you here. If you're in that headstand, make your way down. Inhale, take a halfway lift. Walk the hands to the top of the mat. You're in a lunge. Kick back to your 3-legged dog with the left leg up and back. Left leg is straight and strong. Inhale, come forward into your plank. The option to release the right knee down. Exhale, lower onto the belly. Inhale for your back bend, tops of the feet press down. Exhale to down dog. And we'll meet in child's pose. Big toes to touch. Take the knees wide. Let it be completely passive. So you scan through from your head to your toes and let everything soften. Come back to your breath. Take some forehead rolls on the mat. Roll the head side to side. And come up to sit. Walk your hands in. Come up to sit. Push the hips over to one side and bring the legs forwards. Knees bent, feet on the mat. Hold on to your knees, your shins, and sit up nice and tall, moving into Navasana. So this is option 1 with the tiptoes down. Option 2, you bring your shins up. You can either hold on to the legs or reach the arms forwards. Now you can stay here, or we're going to add on, bring the hands into prayer. Take an inhale to lengthen. And the exhale to turn to your right and dip the right elbow down, twisting. Inhale, center. Exhale to your left. Keep going. Inhale, center. Exhale, right. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. You keep going for 3 more full breaths. Inhales to center and the exhales to twist. Inhale. Exhale. Remember, you could have the tiptoes down if you wish. Keep going. 2 more breaths. Keep the core strong. Keep breathing. I've got 1 more. Come back to center. Now choose your position. You might be here, you might be here, you might be here. And then we're going to lower down. So choose carefully. Start to engage the core, lower down with some control. Come all the way down as slowly or quickly as you like. And take a full body stretch. Let the core release. And be aware of how this feels, what you're feeling in the core, how it feels to be lying down. Check in with your breath and your mind. And bring the legs together, knees bent. We're going to take a twist. So either keep the legs together, or if you like, you can wrap the right thigh over the left. That's optional. And shift the hips a little bit to your right. And we let the knees roll to the left. If you've come into this with the legs wrapped and it feels really awkward and uncomfortable, just unravel, have the legs together. Let your left hand rest on the belly. Reach your right hand out to the right. And close the eyes. Be very soft here. Let go of effort, let go of the breath. And start to feel that sensation of winding down, heading towards Shavasana. So with your breath coming back to that natural rhythm, just allow each exhale to let you soften a little bit more. So you start to let go of the practice. Let go of your day. The final few breaths here. I'm going to bring the knees back to center, so uncross the legs if they were wrapped. Come back to center, give your knees a squeeze in to neutralize the spine, and then we'll take that twist to the second side. So if you're going for the crossed legs, the left thigh crosses over, and then everybody shift the hips to the left, and the knees roll to the right. Right hand resting on the belly, the left hand extending out to the left. Let go of any unnecessary holding here. Let the body be heavy. And with each exhale, it gets a little bit heavier. And the breath is normalizing, but you can still feel those residual sensations through the body that have come up from the practice. We'll take the final few breaths in this position. Unravel the legs, come back to center, and hug your knees in. Make any movements that feel good for you here. We'll take Supta Baddha Konasana. So there is an option if you have a pillow or a prop to hand, you can take a supported position. So I'm going to demo with my blocks. You would just use a bed pillow. That's what we've done in the past. So I'm going to lie down so that this low flat setting on my block is just under my shoulder blades. My other block is just supporting my head. And that's comfortable for me. I don't need to adjust. Soles of the feet together and the knees opening wide. So we've got this nice heart opener. You're not supported. You can just be on your back. Regular Supta Baddha Konasana. If you want to be supported, you can use blocks. You could use a bed pillow, a sofa pillow. Anything else you might have to hand, but just make sure that it feels comfortable and that you can really lean into those props. But this is not essential, it's just an option. So wherever you are, come to stillness. Let the body be heavy. If there's any kind of tensing around the hips or the groin, you can adjust your feet. If it still feels intense, then you might knock the knees together instead, or you might just straighten the legs. So be sure to self-adjust. And then we come back to the breath, the natural breath. Simply observing. You don't need to do anything with it. You don't need to change it. Allow your mind to rest on the breath. And when the mind is distracted, you bring the awareness back to witnessing the breath. And when you notice the mind's wandered off again, bring it back to the breath. The breath is always there, consistently there. And some days the mind will be at ease. And some days the mind will just be so busy. It's all natural, all good. So feel free to stay in the position that you're in, or start to move into Shavasana. If you're moving, do so mindfully and with awareness. And we'll take the last few minutes in quiet. Now I will let you know when it's time to come out of the practice. If you need a little bit longer here, stay exactly as you are. If you're ready to come out of the practice, start to deepen the breath, move the body, no rush. We'll meet seated with the hands in prayer, no rush. Find your still seat. And take a moment to feel, acknowledge your practice. Take the thumbs to the third eye between the eyebrows. Remember your intention. Take it, use it when you need to. And bow the head to the heart to seal the practice. Namaste. Thank you, everybody. Lovely to have you all this evening. Let me just